Coming up with a list of 10 characters I would like to see the most in Mortal Kombat 11, in some ways could be very tricky, but at the same time, I can name those 10 characters I've been dying to see return for years in a heartbeat. So today's video is going to be the top 10 characters I want to see in Mortal Kombat 11. Now with every top 10 I make, or with every list video that I make, I always insist that you guys share your personal list down below and exchange with one another in the comments. However, I have made one big voting poll for you all that includes every Mortal Kombat character, and what you need to do is pick 3 characters that you want to see the most in the next Mortal Kombat game. Right now, Noob Saibot and Jade are in a really close race to being the #1 character, so go ahead and vote before the end of this month of March 2018, the link is in the description, and keep an eye on this channel to see the results of who those top 10 characters you guys are hoping for in Mortal Kombat 11. Alright, with all that said and done, let's get on with my top 10. Number 10 is Bo Rai Cho. I absolutely love what they did with him in MKX, and I remember being so thrilled about him being in that game. I just couldn't believe NetherRealm actually attempted to take a 3D era character who they know doesn't have the best reputation with the fans, and they improved him. Now, I for one always liked Bo Rai Cho, I never had a problem with him, but I think without question, the way he was done in MKX was the way he was always supposed to be. So I want to see him again, not only because he was so much fun to play in MKX, probably the most fun to play, but because I want to see what he has to offer to the story. There's definitely something you can do about how he reacts to Dark Raiden, and it's implied that Bo Rai Cho knows where Noob Saibot has been through the intro dialogues between him and Sub-Zero, so it's going to be very interesting to see where they take those two story threads. Number 9 is Havok. I think if we were to look at all the 3D era characters, Havok is probably in the top 3 or top 5 most popular 3D era characters, yet he hasn't made a comeback in the most recent games. A lot of fans obviously want to see him back, and you would think Mortal Kombat X would be the perfect opportunity to bring him back, but nope, he sat out on that game too. In my opinion, Havok has that appeal for almost every category that's really important to a character. One is the design. You can either keep that really cool deception look or go with something new, because both would work just fine. 2, there's so much you can do gameplay wise with his Morning Star and him twisting his body around like it's jelly. And 3, while he did die in the comics, I think if you were to bring him back to life, he would have some very interesting things to do with the story. There's a lot you can do with him story wise. Sadly, I don't think he's really coming back for MK11, but that doesn't mean I don't want him. It's worth a shot to ask for a character that you really like. Now, number 8 is going to be Cyber Smoke, or Smoke in general. Now, I say Cyber Smoke because Cyber Smoke is my favorite cyborg, and I really think you need some Robo Ninja representation in the roster. But if we were to just get regular Smoke, I think that would just be fine. The main reason why I want to see Smoke back is because I want to see the Enenra story explained. As we all know, in the Mortal Kombat X story, Smoke teases the small little Enenra bit that we saw in his MK9 ending. But it's odd to me that small little story was set up, but Smoke is not actually on the roster. And I think it would be even more weird if he's not in MK11, because what was the point of setting something up if you're just going to ignore it twice in a row? I also think it would be nice to have him interact with Sub-Zero again. We missed that in MKX, especially if they bring back Cyber Smoke, because those two are the ones that didn't want to become cyborgs, so it'll be amusing to see Sub-Zero react to Cyber Smoke. Number 7 is Jade, for really the same reason why I want Smoke in the game, and that's for story reasons. In MK9, we learned that when Jade died, there was a mysterious woman from an unknown realm that possessed her, and that's all we knew from MK9. Now in MKX, we learned that she can see both the new timeline and the old timeline in the franchise. To me, that seems really interesting, and it makes me wonder what more she is capable of, and since she possessed Jade, then it would be a nice way to see an explanation as to why she's not in MKX as a Revenant, and then maybe she can get some new powers and moves in her gameplay now that she's possessed by a seemingly godly being. Something really big is coming for Jade's character, and I think now is the perfect time to do it. You teased it twice, now I think you gotta light it up and launch whatever you got for the 3rd time. Number 6 is Asura, or Asura, however you want to pronounce it. I'm gonna say Asura. It's odd to me that Asura wasn't at least mentioned in Mortal Kombat X, because her whole story is that she wants to be freed from the NetherRealm, so she hunts down demons and kills them with her Chris to purify her soul so that she can ascend to another realm. And I just think that it's a missed opportunity that there were so many of these Revenant characters in MKX, and Asura hasn't at least tried to hunt down one. Out of the console era characters in terms of design, Asura definitely stands out, and I know she isn't too unique with her gameplay, but I think that's an easy fix. Now, Asura is a demon from the Netherrealm, but she has this angelic appearance and angelic sparkling powers, so it would be quite interesting to see how Netherrealm can use their creative minds to work on that, because there is a lot you can do with that, and there is a lot you were given with this character. Number 5 is Fujin, and I mean, what more is there to say about Fujin that hasn't already been said about this character? Everybody knows people were screaming for him in MKX, and many people thought, including myself, that he was a lock for the Kombat Pack 2. Only to find out that he's not actually in there, which is a huge bummer, and it's just sad that NetherRealm didn't even give him a chance, which without question he deserves. At this point, it's a drag to ask for him, and he's so demanded by the fans, and I don't even know what we have to do to get him in at this point. So right now, all I have to say is just do it already. You have Dark Raiden in play for the story now, and you can't tell a Dark Raiden story without Fujin. Whenever there's a situation where Raiden needs to be replaced, Fujin is the exact guy that needs to come in, and it's almost the whole point of his character is to be right next to Raiden's side. So I say this again, NetherRealm, just freaking do it. Number 4 is a different slot this time. It's not one character, it's not 2 characters, it's not 3 characters. Nah, I'm just kidding. It's just the 2 characters, and it's the 2 brothers, Taven and Dagon. Now, the reason why I have these 2 in the same slot is because I believe if you include one of the brothers, you have to include the other brother, because them 2 are just very important when both are in play. Especially this time around, since both of them are important to Kenshi and Takeda. I know Taven looks bland in terms of design, and he doesn't have the greatest moveset, but I really do not think that argument for any character is a good one, because nowadays that could be easily fixed. And in terms of design, they took a lot of Greek inspiration with Armageddon, so it's easy to just use that as a reference for his new design. Now, for me, Dagon already has that pretty acceptable design at least, but in my opinion, I would like to see NetherRealm come up with something new for him as well, with both gameplay and design. Both of these characters are super important, especially now for the Mortal Kombat story, and should be played out in the next MK game. Number 3 is the one and only Dragon King Onaga. Oh man, I have been waiting years to see Onaga return in another Mortal Kombat game. I really want to see Onaga return in this game. In terms of who is left as a big boss character, Onaga is the only one left, and I believe it's time for them to use him. With the graphics we have now, Onaga would look so fucking cool in a next-gen Mortal Kombat game. He's also a really popular 3D era character. I know you guys would like to see him back, and I'm with you guys on that one. To me, Onaga just has to be in MK11. Getting close to the number 1 slot at number 2 is Scarlet. Scarlet is one of those characters who should have never been a one and done character where they're introduced and show up in one game and then they are completely ignored in the second one. Scarlet has always had a lot of potential with her blood powers, and I thought she was done very well in MK9, but there's definitely a lot more you can do with her to have her become a character that keeps returning in multiple games and at the same time not having people be tired of seeing her return in multiple games. She's my favorite female in Mortal Kombat, so having her not be in MKX really sucks, but I really do hope she's in MK11. The fact that Ed Boon put her on that one poll from a while ago, the one that Jade won, has me thinking that they are taking her into consideration, and that gives me a lot of hope, especially since she placed second on that poll. Finally, at number 1, we have Noob Saibot. Every time he's in a Mortal Kombat game, he's always super fun and entertaining to watch, fun to play, interesting in the story, always mysterious, always has a super cool design, especially his MK9 costume with that Reaper hood. That shit absolutely has to come back, and that should be a staple to his character. And at this point, I'm kind of over Reptile and Ermac being the ninja representations for the games, especially since they aren't doing anything interesting or anything at all really besides being jobbers. So if you aren't going to do something with those two, bring in somebody who is known to bring in cool shit and expand on that. NetherRealm knows this character is popular, they know this character has demand, and I think his absence in MKX without a doubt didn't go unnoticed. I think people felt that absence, so putting him back in this game is the right way to go. As you all know, this list is all based on my personal wishes. There are no rules when it comes to who makes it on this list, so I ask you guys, what is your list for MK11 and what do you think of mine? Be sure to let me know down in the comments, and don't forget to vote for the 3 characters you want the most in MK11 through my voting poll in the description below. Be sure to subscribe for more Mortal Kombat 11 videos, and if you like this one, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. That'll wrap everything up for today, and I'll see you guys in the next one.